Changing nature of the international trade in the last 15 years. Chapter 7, Lifelines of National Economy, Class 10, Cbse. What is international trade? Trade between two countries is called international trade. It may take place through sea, air or land routes. Advancement of international trade of a country is an index to its economic barometer. Now, India has emerged as a software giant at the international level and it is earning large foreign exchange through the export of information technology. Much has happened in the international trade environment since the establishment of the World Trade Organization in 1995. The World Trade Organization is the only international organization dealing with the global rules for trade. The World Trade Organization headquartered at Geneva, Switzerland. World Trade Organization has 164 member countries and 25 observer nations. After the membership expansion of the European Union in 1995, there has been a massive expansion in the world trade. After this economic globalization, China and India has entered into the global economy and now they are seen as a new economic growth pole. The European Union we know today is rooted in several treaties signed in the aftermath of the Second World War. The first step was to foster economic cooperation based on the idea that countries that trade with one another become economically interdependent and thereby likely to avoid conflicts. Now, let us examine the data of world GDP growth and growth in the export in the last 20 years. The spread of world trade growth was exceptionally fast in the period between 2000 to 2008 at the rate of 14% per annum. On an average, developing countries' exports increased by 11% per year from 1990 to 2008. So, in the year 2000, now let us look into the data from 2000 to 2014. From 1995 to 2000, world merchandise export grew annually by an average of 7%, while world GDP growth by an average of 3%. From 2000 to 2005, exports grew significantly with an average growth of 5% per year, but the GDP growth rate was 3% per annum. From the year 2005 to 2010, world merchandise exports continued to grow faster than the world GDP despite the global crisis in 2008. Export growth rate was 3% during the period, while GDP growth lagged behind at 2%. In 2009, merchandise export fell by 12% and GDP by 2% in response to the financial crisis. This was followed by a quick recovery in 2010, with the merchandise export growing by 14% and GDP growth by 4%. The sluggish post-crisis economic expansion was accompanied by a mediocre trade development as export increased by 3% per annum. The GDP growth from 2002 to 2014 was 2.5% and the export trade growth was 3.5%. World GDP increased by 2.7% in 2015 to 16 and merchandise export increased by 2.6%. Here, now let us examine the data and growth of GDP and export trade from 2015 to 2012. India is ranked 68 out of 190 countries under the indicator trading across borders in the ease of doing business report published by the World Bank in 2019. With reference to the international trade, India's merchandise exports are less than its merchandise import. India's export of services are more than the import of services. India suffers from an overall trade and current deficit. So now let us examine the data from 2015 to 2022. 2015 to 16 witnessed a GDP increase of 2.7% and the merchandise export increased by 2.6%. In 2016 to 17, world GDP increased by 2.3% and world merchandise by 1.3%. This slowdown in the growth reflected the further weakening of investment spending across the world. In 2017 to 18, world GDP increased by 3% and world merchandise trade exports by 4.7%. This year witnessed the strongest growth in the world trade since 2011. In 2018 to 19, world GDP increased by 2.9% and world exports slowed down to 3% as compared to 4.7 in 2.7 in 2017. The year 2019 witnessed an uncertainty in economic policy. In 2019 to 20, world GDP slowed down to 2.3% and the world merchandise trade slowed down to 2.9% as compared to previous year. The year 2021, the world GDP declined by 3.6% and the world merchandise trade dropped down by 5.3% as a result of the COVID pandemic. In the year 21-22, the world merchandise exports rose by 9.7% and GDP by 5.9%. So these are the changes that happened in the international trade in the last 20 years. Thank you. For detailed notes and question and answers, log on to EDUGURU-Notes.blogspot.com. If you like this video notes, please do subscribe to this YouTube channel.